everyone, welcome to another episode of The Girl Who Talks Sports, the podcast where we talk sports and other girly things. I am Sam Cardona, and thank you guys so much for listening to our very special 100th episode. It is the Super Bowl episode, and we are joined by my very, very best girlfriend here, SportyJordy, Jordan Arard Coupe. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me, and what perfect timing it was that you have your 100th episode on Super Bowl weekend. Like, this is absolutely incredible.
I know, I didn't even plan it, and I don't know how it worked out that way, but I got lucky.
It's amazing.
I know, I'm super stoked, and the thing is too, I didn't realize that the Zoom would be backwards, so my 100 says 001 on the video. But either way, 100th episode, I got my balloons. So before we get into everything, guys, don't forget to subscribe on all podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you get your podcasts from, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Girl Who Talks Sports, and on social media, Twitter and Instagram is TGWTS Podcast. And Jordan, tell everyone where they can find your YouTube channel.
Yes, so I post weekly YouTube videos. You can find me at SportyJordy on YouTube, SportyJordy. And then on Instagram, I'm at _SportyJordy. And Twitter, I'm at _SportyJordy. So make sure to follow me everywhere.
Yes. And this is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to go over the Super Bowl. We're going to go over everything that's going on within the Super Bowl, not just the game itself. And then we had a couple other stories to get into. We have some Eagles talk to go over. I know that you are obviously,
unfortunately.
For those that don't know, Jordan is an Eagles fan, and so there's some things going on there. And then some NFL honors things went down the day before the Super Bowl, so we're going to get into that as well. But let's start off with the big game, as people call it, because technically we're not supposed to say the Super Bowl, but we're going to say it anyway. So, Super Bowl happened Sunday, Bucks, Chiefs. Just tell me, what were you feeling going into this game? You know, what did you think was going to happen compared to what actually ended up happening? And, you know, because I think a lot of people were expecting something different.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into it, I was very, very torn, especially as an Eagles fan. I can absolutely acknowledge that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. No one, especially after this weekend, can deny that. Is he my favorite person ever? No, I tend to be very, very hard on him. It's a part of being an Eagles fan now. You just have to. So I had that in the back of my head. We know, me and you both love Patty Mahomes. He is an absolute angel. So my head and my heart were at odds going into it. I was like, what do I bet? Who do I think is going to come out on top here? And I ended up going with my gut, and I wore my Rollin' with Mahomes Patrick t-shirt. Wanted, thank you. It's my favorite t-shirt. I got to wear 2 Super Bowls in a row too, so it worked out beautiful. I wanted in my heart of hearts the Chiefs to win, but something in my head was saying, like, Tom Brady is not going to lose this game. And that did end up being true. So it worked out in my favor. What I wasn't expecting, though, was Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense to have their first game ever, never scoring a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes has never lost by double digits ever. And in that big of a platform, I thought it was going to be a very, very close game. And that was just not the case. So I was very surprised watching it, even going into the half. I was like, there's still so much time for the Chiefs to come out looking like the Chiefs. Right. And they have Andy Reid. I thought he was going to give them all a smackdown in the locker room and be like, get it together. But because last year's Super Bowl, they were down. Like, they came back after the half. So I was like, guys, don't even worry yet. Meanwhile, I have all my money on the Bucks. And I'm like, guys, the Chiefs are still in it. But Bucks ended up winning. So it worked out. But I just felt bad for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because, one, he was absolutely outstanding. He did not lose that game. It was the receivers couldn't do anything, and their defense, the penalties really, really killed them. So it was sad to watch, but congrats to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. That was the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen ever. So there's
7 rings, man. 7 rings.
He has more than every NFL team.
I
just
know.
himself.
Tom Brady is the best NFL franchise, which is crazy to think about. But I don't know why he hasn't already tried to copyright the song Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, because at this point, like, just, you know, bring it in, Tom. Thank you next, you know, that mentality.
Imagine if they did like a music video where he was like lip singing it
with the 7 rings on his fingers.
Someone hire us. We could
Someone
produce
hire
this entire
us.
thing.
We know what we're talking about.
Oh, it would be beautiful. It would be so good.
It would. But 100% I agree with you. I was on the same boat, you know, rooting for the Chiefs, wanted the Chiefs to win. But I told a lot of people, I was like, listen, you can't bet against Tom Brady. That's just the bottom line of it all. He is going to his 10th Super Bowl. He went to his 10th Super Bowl. And the only 2 people, as we know, that can beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is Eli Manning and Nick Foles. So
yes!
So Patrick Mahomes, obviously I agree. Patrick Mahomes really put his all out on the field. He was dealing with his turf toe as well, which now he's got to get surgery for. You know, he wasn't 100%. He's also, you know, he was concussed like only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't 100%. But oh my God, this offensive line, you should have just thrown some puppies there or something.
Literally.
They were
non-existent. Done the same. Yeah.
I was so mad. I believe the stat I saw was 497 yards. Yep. Patrick Mahomes ran to get away
from the pass or a sack.
Yes, which is bonkers. That's fact insane. that man ran that much.
And the passes the one where he was literally like horizontal levitating and then the turn 360 launch it, and then both of those passes were incomplete, and I was like, guys, the O-line's not doing anything. The receivers, you at least gotta like catch it. Like that's literally all you gotta do at this point.
And the thing was too, I think it's unfair for people to say like Patrick Mahomes had a bad game. I think that, you know, like we're saying, the line wasn't there. The receivers didn't show up except for Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce
was a beast.
Very, very good. And he just kept going up the middle too. Like
exactly.
And it's a scary place in the middle. I would not want to run up the middle.
No.
Travis Kelce showed up there all the time. He was the only one that seemed to be catching any of Patrick's passes. And Tyreek Hill didn't even show up. I didn't even know if he was at the game or not. I was just like,
Edwards-Helaire. He was present. He was where he didn't get to do that much, but he was at least trying. And at the current state of that team in that game, I was like, I'll take it. Like you're putting your effort out, I'll take it. Like,
yes. I don't think that this is on Patrick. I think that
not at all.
He definitely tried his best. He put it all out on the field there. And there also was the things happening with Andy Reid's personal life. You know, his son, unfortunately, they got into a car accident. There's, you know, injuries involved with a child and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure his mind was in a different place. I'm sure that he wasn't at his 100% also. That was like, you know, how can you play a game while you're thinking about your son?
Absolutely.
I think that also had a part to play in that as well. So overall, the Bucs defense, I think, should have won the MVP.
All of them. Every single one.
I know
it was insane. Like it was like there was a meme. I saw a meme of like one man running down a beach with like a swarm of like zombies chasing after him. And it was like, that was literally Patrick Mahomes in this game, like fighting for his life out there alone. And everywhere you looked, there was just defenders. It was actually the most like so impressive. I was like, because they're good. They've been good all season, but for them, they did exactly what they had to do to stop Mahomes. Exactly. And then some. So I was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, Bucs defense. Wow.
Yeah. And it was just Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator for the Bucs, did a fantastic job in that regard. But let's ask the real questions here. Did you win any money?
I did.
Yes.
So like I said, I took the Bucs plus 3.5, and I also took blue Gatorade.
You did?
I did. I took blue Gatorade.
Good for you.
Just because, and my reasoning for taking blue Gatorade is not logical at all. It's you know how picky I am with everything in life. It's the only Gatorade flavor I like, light blue or dark blue. But blue is the only one I drink. So I was like, look, and I was like, I'll throw some bucks on blue Gatorade. Why not? And then it was. So Those were my big winnings. Bucks plus 3.5 and blue Gatorade.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. I went safe.
You had a good day.
Yes, I did. Our friends over at Review and Preview, Tom Scavetta, Hank and Dictor, all those guys, shout out to them, had me and Jordan in their pool for just the boxes, and I picked box number 99, and that was the winner, baby, for the third quarter and the final. Overall, I was just like, I was running around blasting Ride With Me by Nelly. I was just like, hey, must be the money. I'd never won money before. This is my first time. Never. I'd never really bet on anything. So the boxes are easy because you don't even have any real bet. It's just like luck, basically. But when the fourth quarter rolled around, I had KC 9 and Bucks 1. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's, as a joke, I was like, haha, no one score. And then I was like, oh my God, nobody scored. So I'm glad you won money. I'm glad that I won money. So, yes. And the thing was too, that Devin White interception at basically the last play of the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry, Patrick, but you just gave me so much money. I'm so happy.
It's like, if he isn't going to win, at least pay you. And at that point, we knew he wasn't going to win. So it's only fair. It's only fair.
Yeah. I felt really bad for Patrick though. They kept cutting him on the sidelines. He's all moping and he's sitting there and he's put his mask on.
Yeah. It was sad.
It was really sad. And yeah, go ahead.
He really did. Like we said, it wasn't him. It really wasn't him. There was a lot of other factors. So I think that made it harder. But we have to look at it this way. He's so young. And I honestly think all teams should be afraid of the Chiefs next season, because I think they're going to come out like an absolute terror, or at least he's going to come out like an absolute terror after this. He said he's not going to forget this game for the rest of his career. So absolutely. I think it's just going to light a fire under him, and we should all be scared.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing is too, like, he's very motivated, and he has been for the past 4 years. He's been in the league. So I agree with you. I definitely think that the Chiefs are something to be reckoned with next year. They're not going to want to, I said yesterday, I was just like, I have a feeling we might see the Super Bowl over again next year. I think that, I don't see Tom Brady slowing down anytime soon. And
that would be insane.
Yeah. I also read way too early predictions, and they were like, oh, what about a Tom Brady Patriots Super Bowl next year? And I was like, the amount of hype that would go into that game, a Bill Belichick v. Tom Brady Super Bowl.
Holy crap. They would need to put in a lot of work to get there. Who would their quarterback be? Oh, now we're going to go into a rabbit hole.
Well, the Patriots are in shambles.
They're in shambles.
Is that maybe not next year, but if Tom Brady's not going anywhere and he's going to stick around until like he's freaking 50 years old, maybe we might end up seeing something like that. It could be interesting.
Now, I've said it multiple times. I never want to see the Patriots in a Super Bowl again. Just we've seen it. Okay. We get it.
We get it. You're good.
We get it. You're good. Okay. But that is an exception. And that is something I would pay good money just to watch. That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, it really would. But again, all hypothetical. We're not there yet.
Speculating.
We're only 2 days into the off season at this point, and we're already
370 days until the next Super Bowl.
Can't wait. But I just want to run a question by you about this Chiefs team. Okay. So let's just say, for example, the offensive line shows up, and Patrick has time to throw the ball. Do you think that this game would have been different if he had the ability to actually get the ball out of his hands?
I think it would have been different. However, their O-line, I think it was the biggest problem, but I don't think it was their only problem. It wasn't their only problem. So I think they would have gotten more points on the board. I think it would have been more of a game, because to put it plainly, the Bucs kind of just came in, rolled over them, and left, and that was it.
Right.
So I think if Patrick Mahomes had more time, maybe his passes would have been more accurate. Maybe it would have given receivers a better chance. But some of the passes that I saw him throw went right to their face, like catches they should have, not perfect, but something they should have been able to work with, and no one could get anything done. So I think it would have given them a better chance, but I still don't think they had all of the pieces to put it all together. And also their defense, all the penalties, allowing Tom Brady to stay on the field as long as he could, giving them extra first downs. It was mistakes like that also were extremely costly. So I think it definitely would have made it more of a game, but I still don't think that alone would have won it for them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it would have made it more interesting. I think a lot of people who like really weren't too invested were really bored. Like
100%.
I would think that, you know, if we weren't sitting there, you know, counting our numbers or looking for our bets or anything like that, like really not that much going on in this game.
No.
It was all Tom Brady. It was all Buccaneers defense and offense. But let's talk about those penalties for a second, because it looked like what was going on between the field was a little bit of animosity.
Oh my God.
We had some verbal altercations between Tom Brady and Tyrann Mathieu more than once.
Oh my God. Like the entire first half was very scary.
Yeah. And then there was the one time where Tyrann says something to Tom and starts kind of jogging away, and Tom ran at him.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen Tom Brady do something like that.
It was crazy. I honestly thought, I made the joke, I was like, I'm seeing more of Mathieu in this game. Like they kept putting, than I've seen of Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Like it was all the attention was on him. And there was a lot, him and the Tom Brady drama, whatever happened, I don't know what happened. I did hear Tom Brady apologize to him. Yes. Which I did think was interesting. I think that was just Tom Brady being the bigger person, because what it seemed to me, and you know, I'm one of the last people that will like defend Tom Brady's honor. I'm one of the last. But what it honestly looked like to me was Mathieu kept antagonizing him, and not even just him, like a lot of the people on their offense.
Yeah.
He was just being nicely a brat. Like he was a sore loser. Last year in the Super Bowl, he was one of their captains. Like he was one of the guys that like got it for them, and this time he couldn't really make anything happen, and it just seemed like he was really upset about it and taking it out like a child. So, and then he riled Tom Brady up after a while, and I honestly don't blame Brady for charging him. I'd be like, dude, come on, like I'm the greatest of all time, like I'm doing what I do, like accept it. Like
I know. And like the thing was too, like there was a tweet Tyrann tweeted out and said, like,
I wasn't gonna bring it up first.
Yeah, so he said like, oh, Tom called me a name. And of course, everybody's first thought is to go to the worst possible thing.
Yeah.
And then he deleted it. Yeah. So I have a feeling that maybe he was just frustrated and he, you know, was trying to get all of his emotions out and this and
Absolutely.
That. I really, again, you know, between the two of us, not the biggest Tom Brady fans, but I don't think Tom Brady would say anything as bad as everyone thinks he would.
No.
So I think that when Tom Brady apologized to him, he probably was like, listen, we know tensions were high. We were in the biggest game of the year. You're trying to win. You're frustrated because you're not, your offense is doing nothing. You're trying your best out here. You know, I'm sure that it was a very nice, lengthy apology.
I agree. And I hope he included in there. Like, I hope he was very nice and respectful, but then I hope at the end he said, and then don't fucking.
I'll bleep it out.
I'm from Jersey.
You're good.
And then don't freaking come for my integrity and my honor.
You're good.
I hope he included don't come for my honor like that, because like he's Tom Brady. You're really going to try and make him look like this bad guy after he just won his 7th Super Bowl. Like, don't do this right now. Don't cross that line. And I don't want to like minimize, like if anything was said, that's a different story. But I think the fact that he deleted it and took it down shows that it was, like you said, just frustration in the moment. Tensions were high, and it's not fair to come for Tom like that
Yeah.
Oh my God, who am
Look
I?
at us sympathizing
I
with
know,
Tom
Tom's
Brady.
making me like softy right now.
Who are we? Oh my God.
I don't even recognize myself right now.
I was even saying, like, on Sunday, I was like, I tweeted out basically like, I can't hate him anymore because he's so good, and like he does nothing wrong other than the fact of being so good. And I'm like, why do I hate this man so much? Like, and I'm like, wait, what am I saying? I've spent the past 20 years hating this guy. How am I like all of a sudden like, oh, it's fine.
Oh, Tom.
Oh, Tom.
He gave you, I have a reason.
Okay.
You mess with Nick Foles, you mess with me. And the two snubbed handshakes that man deserved, that is my fire. That's fire was, there was some water drizzled on it. Like I said, I'm kind of in like a soft spot for Tom Brady right now, but it's still there. And don't forget.
Yeah, that I remember, at least from this year, him snubbing him as a Bear on a Thursday night football game. I was just like, oh, come on, Tom.
Like,
come on.
Let's get over it. You're the greatest of all time. Everyone that doesn't like you can even admit that. Shake Nick Foles' hand.
Yeah, you know, he always has that little bit of crybaby Brady in him, and I think he always will. But so I think, in my opinion, this kind of squashes the GOAT argument. Would you agree that at this point in time, Tom Brady is and probably always will be one of the greatest football players of all time?
Absolutely. And I also think it crushes the argument because people had the debate of if Brady would have been Brady without Belichick.
Right.
And I think this crushes that. And not that taking anything away from what Belichick has done, he creates he like puts a team together of guys that he puts a Super Bowl team together of guys that on their own with any other coach would never make it to the Super Bowl. Like Tom Brady never really had crazy weapons. Like he had a guy here and there, but he wasn't flooded with superstars, and yet they did what they did. So I'm not taking anything away from Belichick, but I think Brady's first season on a new team, new city, with a new coach, being able to do what he just did, it crushes that argument. It solidifies him as the GOAT, no questions asked.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point in time, he has more Super Bowls than actual NFL teams. Yeah. He's out here just at 43 years old, doing his thing. I saw a tweet that said Tom Brady's kids go to the Super Bowl stage like it's grandma's house.
Yes. Wait, and do you want to hear a crazy statistic?
Yes,
because this was the 55th Super Bowl. Tom Brady's been in 10 of them. Right. So he's roughly in that 18 to 20% range. His percentage of making the Super Bowl is higher than his passing percentage. Like, that's insane.
That hurts my soul.
I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh, like, how do you do that? How are you that? Like,
199th pick.
I know.
199th pick. This man will go down in history. When NFL Films ends up making a football life about him, it'll be one of the best ones ever created.
It's gonna be 4 hours long.
They're gonna have to do it in it's gonna be like a mini series.
Yeah, no, it has to be. Imagine like a Tom Brady Last Dance kind of series.
Definitely. They're definitely.
We need it. Why am I excited for it?
Because you know what? It's a great story though.
It really is.
Entertaining, hate him, love him, feel indifferent. He's Tom Brady. And he, said he's holding up the Lombardi trophy and he's like, hey, guess what? We're going to be back here next year. Like his mindset is just so crazy that he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come back. Even Bruce Arians was like, we're coming back. Like, no problem. This is not the last time we've seen the Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And he's not going to stop.
No. He's now saying, he said he's going to play past 45.
I don't doubt it.
And honestly, I don't see a reason for him not to. Like, why would he? Yeah. He's not prone to injury. I can't remember. When is the last time he had a serious injury?
He tore his ACL.
That was...
What was that, like?
Years ago.
Years ago, though.
Like, years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember in recent years. Let's see. When did Tom Brady tear his ACL?
I can't remember.
Oh my God, it said, when did Brady die?
Oh, Oh my God. People
Never.
are.
He's going to live 2008.
Yeah, years ago. Years and
So,
years
like,
ago.
for him to do what he does at his age, his diet, his mentality, I can't see a reason for him to stop playing anytime soon.
No, and he's not. And now that he's got his pals, he's got Gronk, he's got AB.
Oh my God.
There, and even if Tom Brady, doesn't sign another deal with the Buccaneers, he's just gonna go somewhere else who's gonna sign him and Gronk and AB, and the three of them are just gonna stick together. And it would be insane though if Tom Brady ended up on another team at like 47 and won
another Super Bowl.
But also, I can't not see that. Like, I would not be surprised.
No, we can't ignore the truths that are right in front of us. Like, there is all the facts there to show that Tom Brady can make a Super Bowl team wherever he goes.
Right. So, but as of right now, he's a Buck. He is gonna stay a Buck next year. Oh, I have my helmet.
I got that out, and I was like, where did you even get this?
Fun story. This is Rondé Barber's helmet given to my father. I think it's signed at the top somewhere, right there. But,
yes, definitely.
So I have this Bucks helmet. It's a fun prop to have right now because, with Tom Brady there, staying there, he's going to be a Buck. I can't put it on my head because it's too tight and I don't want to mess my hair up.
Hair looks too good, yeah.
But yeah, this is a big deal. And with Tom, I almost dropped it. With
this is a big deal. Boom.
Yeah, Tom Brady's going to be a Buck and he's going to stay a Buck. And also he's in Florida. If he wants to retire in Florida, old man things.
Old people go. It makes sense.
But I think it's safe to say that man shut his eyes, pointed to a map, put his finger on it and said, I'm going to go here and I'm going to bring this team a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And that's what happened. But I just want to jump away from the game for a second here. Okay. So obviously all the stuff was going on first half. Then we roll into halftime. We have the Weeknd halftime show. What were your thoughts on this? I'm curious.
Okay, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. And I think part of it, I think it also your scenery. I don't think that's the right word, but that's all I can come up with right now. Okay. So it was a couple friends sitting around watching the game. We had all the lights off. The TV was on 100. We all liked the Weeknd. So I think that made it better because we were all singing along. We were all enjoying it. What I picked up on was 45 and older that don't listen to the Weeknd regularly did not understand it. My mom texted me, why are the dancers wearing jock straps on their face? I was like, Mom, it's his thing, the bandages. I was like, it's his vibe. And she was like, I don't get it. She did not understand. She was like, I don't hate it, but so I think there's kind of that divide. The one thing was his mic seemed a little low. It wasn't that was I would have changed that, but I honestly thoroughly enjoyed it. Was it my favorite ever? No. Did it top last year's? No. That one, I'm still not over J-Lo and Shakira, but it was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was vibing in my seat.
Yeah. And the thing was too, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a Weeknd fan, but I knew all of the songs.
That's what I said too. I wasn't even expecting. I was like, I don't listen to him regularly, but I guess he went with all of his hits. I didn't even realize I knew that many.
Neither did I. And the thing is, he was going into each song and I was just like, I remember this. I remember this song. It worked for us, I think, because I didn't hate it either, but I also thought it was just low scale. And I don't know if it was because of COVID or whatnot, but he ended up on the field and they did that big thing with the guys with the masks on and everything. And that's his thing, was that he wore the bandages and had a overall meaning of it over time. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but yeah, so it was cool. And he sang a lot of songs that I was like, we know the words to it just because they overplay the Weeknd on the radio so 100%. Much. But yeah, I don't think that it's stellar. He didn't bring anybody out. I really wanted to see if he was going to bring a guest out because I was going to be like, oh, this is going to be great. He's going to bring out some crazy person or, I don't even know who he would bring out, but I was really stoked for that. And then it didn't happen. And I was like, oh, well, we're in a different time.
It felt very quick too. Was that just me?
No, I felt like it was like under 10 minutes.
Yes. And like
Yeah.
the whole, like when it ended, I was like, dang, like I really wanted more. Like I thought it was like reaching climax, but wasn't fully there yet. And then it just ended. And I was like, oh, like it was so, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I had fun watching it, but like the Super Bowl halftime performance, you want it to feel like its own like show. Like,
Yeah.
and I did not get that feeling.
Yeah, that I think that after the J-Lo and Shakira show, which
it's hard to compare.
People had their thoughts about that. And like the thing was with that, like there were older people again that were like, oh, well, J-Lo was shaking her butt. I had to cover my son's eyes. I'm like, okay, that's not her problem. Sorry. That's her whole personality is her butt. Yeah. That's the whole thing with Shakira is that they dance.
Yes, and what was so great about that was they were in Miami, which has like it's the entire vibe of Miami. Like it was so perfect.
Yeah, no, to be quite honest, J-Lo and Shakira is one of my favorite halftime shows. I was sitting there not breathing the whole time, basically.
I was literally like,
yeah, just like I was beautiful, gorgeous. I loved it, but I think one of the good things that did come out of the Weeknd's performance was the meme of him running through the mirror, like the Hall of Mirrors. I was crying at the amount of the second it happened, I was like, there it is.
Yep, make the meme. Just make it.
There were so many good ones. There were so many funny ones, and I was just like,
did you see the one where it was like the Chiefs defenders running around the field, like looking for something?
I saw that one. I saw another one that was like, Patrick Mahomes looking for a receiver. I saw some other ones that were just like not football related, but were hilarious. I was
God. It was
I think last year it was the Shakira with her tongue out. Like, yeah, that was. There's always one.
There's always one. There's always one.
But yeah, I think that I wish he kind of did it on the field the whole time.
I kind of do too. I wish he just started there and then worked his way to the field sooner.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it felt short. It might not have been short, but it felt short.
Yeah. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but I didn't realize this. Michael, my boyfriend, told me. He said that they don't get paid. Halftime performers don't get paid. They put in the amount of money to make the whole show happen.
$7 million, I heard.
And the Weeknd paid money of his own to put into the show, but they don't get paid because of the amount of viewership that you get is like enough. So halftime performers do the halftime show for free, and I didn't know that.
I didn't know they did it for free. I didn't know like everyone. I did hear that he put out like $7 million of his own dollars, like took it out of his savings account or checking because you're that rich, whatever. And he like put it out of his own pocket, but I didn't know that he didn't get like anything. And I mean, I guess like you said, you do, it cancels out, but still.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that. I really didn't. That it's not just him though. It's just like in general.
That is like the biggest stage though. Like the Super Bowl gets viewed more than the Olympics.
Yeah, and I got a notification today, 96.5 million viewers this year, and it's like the second most since 2015 or something. So almost 100 million people sat down and watched the Super Bowl this year. So
that's insane. I follow one of like the NFL UK accounts, and they posted and they were like, what UK fans are staying up for the whole game, and so many people were like, we're not missing this. And I was like, that is so cool. Like that is really amazing.
Yeah, it's
shout out to NFL UK fans.
Shout out to NFL UK fans. I actually have a podcast friend now. His name is James. He's from Scotland. He has his own podcast called Across the Pond. Shout out to James and Katie. James is from Scotland, and he just loves like American football. He's a Dallas fan, which is a little upsetting, but it is what it is.
Something we can try and overlook.
Yeah. But the thing was with the NFL, just to go on a quick tangent, is that it's literally not like any other sport. You don't have this kind of thing for the MLB World Series or the NBA Finals. Like this is the biggest day in sports of all time.
Yes.
And it's insane. And the amount of money we do with commercials and all that stuff is insane. So quick segue there. Well, let's talk about the commercials there for a second. Yeah, you see what I did there?
I did.
Jordan and I did not. I just told her to pick a favorite commercial. We don't know what the other one is. We have a hunch it might be the same one because Jordan and I's brain are actually fused together. So tell me, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial?
All right, so there's two that are very close. The one that takes the cake for me, though, is the Michael B. Jordan Amazon Alexa commercial. Because, can you blame me? Like, do we know why?
Yes. Yes.
And that was towards like the end that one came on. So like we're not paying as much attention to them as we were in the beginning. And then all of a sudden that one came on and the whole room was just like,
it got really quiet.
Yes.
It got real quiet.
Because it was all like sensual with like Kobe Jordan. And like the girl, I was like, I want to be her. And then her husband was like the comedic relief. And he was like, honey, it was like, Alexa, lights on. And he was like, and I was like, no, turn them off.
Oh my God. I loved, and the thing was too, where she said, I forgot what she said, but he was like, Alexa, no, don't do that. And I was just like, I love this.
Alexa, lights off. And he started like taking off his shirt. And he was like, Alexa, lights on, lights on.
No, that was a really good one.
Yes.
I love Michael B. Jordan. I love him so much. I think it's safe to say that most women watching, or men for that matter, people, even if you don't like men, you can't not look at Michael B. Jordan and be like,
he's fine.
He's fine. That is the perfect word for him. He is the definition of the word fine.
Fine. Yeah. He should get it.
I love it. I love it so much.
Because that is him. My second favorite was the Mila Kunis Ashton Kutcher. Is that your? I knew it. I knew it. Because it was so good. It was so well done. And it was like a clash of the most random things. I was like, what? But it was so perfect.
Yes. Oh my God. I knew it. I knew it. The thing was too, I forgot about the Michael B. Jordan one actually for a second because it was towards the end.
It was. They should have done that earlier. That was like so good.
I don't know why they did that.
Kids to go to sleep. It was like, let your mom enjoy this one. Let your parents enjoy this one.
Yeah. The Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher one with Shaggy, and It Wasn't Me. I was living for it.
It was so well done.
And Ashton Kutcher, like, he like trying to sing with it, and he was like, I saw her in the shower, and I was like, oh my God, Ashton.
You have no musical tone, but it's fine. Both of them aged backwards.
Oh, absolutely.
How?
Don't know.
Like, they have just gotten hotter and hotter over time.
Maybe they're doing TB12.
I think they have to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. They're the only people that age backwards.
Oh my God. It literally was so funny. I thought it was hilarious. And I think a runner-up too, the one that it just came to my mind, was the one that it looked like a Bud Light commercial, but it ended up being a Sammy Adams commercial.
Yes.
And they was like, it's your cousin from Boston. And I was like, okay, that was a good one.
The Will Ferrell one too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was hysterical. Or he's like, I'm in Norway. And they're like, he's like, it's so cute here. And they're like, no, you're in Sweden.
You're in
and
Sweden.
Like, dang it.
that was a good one as well.
Yes.
And I think it's safe to say though that like some of them weren't as much excitement as we usually might have.
They were very somber, but I guess that fits the tone.
You know, they're like, and also it's COVID. You can't go all out for some of these commercials like you normally would. But yeah, I would think that the Mila Kunis Ashton Kutcher one was the best one, but you know, that's my opinion.
I'll agree with that. That was actually like the whole thing about it. That was the best one. My favorite.
I think it's the smartest one.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. The Michael B. Jordan one though. Oh my God.
That one was just like
that was nice. Like a cherry on top. It was like here.
And the thing was too, I was sitting there and I kind of like dazed out while I was watching it, and Michael is sitting next to me, and he was like, during the commercials, he was like playing on his phone, and then he kind of stopped and was like, and he looks up and he was like, oh God, oh no.
Cover your eyes.
And he was just like, Sam, and I was just like, yeah,
Come back to Earth.
What
Sam.
are we talking about? Football on again? What's happening?
Yeah, where are we? Oh my God, I forgot it's a Super Bowl.
And all right, let's just finish up the thing here. What's your favorite food for Super Bowl?
Oh, buffalo chicken dip. Buffalo freaking chicken dip. I texted my friends because I'm in Rhode Island currently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with a bunch of Tom Brady stands. Right. So that was fun. But at least I was on their side this time. Mm-hmm. But I texted my friend at 3:00 in the morning, 2 days before I was coming. And I was like, listen, do you think we can make buffalo chicken dip on Sunday? And she texted me back 2 hours later at 5:00 in the morning. And she's like, obviously, we're going to do a chaotic. Huge, yes. And I was like, this is exactly the energy that I needed. So that is the Super Bowl thing I can't live without. We went all out though. We went to the supermarket hungry, which is the worst thing you can do. I mean, it ended up being the best. But we had buffalo chicken dip, pot stickers, the 9-layer taco, the bean dip, guacamole. We had an apple caramel dip, pulled pork sandwiches, wings, pizza rolls. I was like, wow. It was our spread. I literally would just a shrimp cocktail. I was like, who do we think we are? But we had a shrimp cocktail.
Got money.
But it was beautiful. What is yours?
I would also say buffalo chicken dip because not to toot my own horn, but I make a really good buffalo chicken dip. Next time we actually are in person and hang out, I will make some and we will devour it because I made two.
We'll each make one because I made the one for this party. So we can just bathe in buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip potluck. But yeah, I love buffalo chicken dip. I make it myself as well. There's one in my refrigerator right now, just chilling for me to just pop in the oven to have it again. Because I have so many scoops left over too, the Tostitos scoops. So I'm like, we need to finish
here's a controversial topic. Scoops or bite-sized chips?
Scoops, I think.
So I was on the scoops train. I'm going to put you on to something right now. All you buffalo chicken dip people. The bite-sized chips, they're little circles, little spheres. They are better for dip than the scoops. Because the scoops, how it sometimes breaks off? Yeah. These you can coat the entire little circle, but it's flat. And it is the best buffalo chicken dip experience I've ever had. So there you go.
Hot take there.
It's a very hot take. But bite-sized Tostitos over
Interesting. The scoops. I don't think I've ever actually had bite-sized Tostitos before. So I can't have an opinion, but
they're good.
I'm down to try, especially when we consume our weight in buffalo chicken.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait.
But yeah, so we had that. We had my dad made sausage and peppers. My mom made lasagna. We got cannolis because we're from Staten Island. We gotta get all the good stuff.
You need a cannoli.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're so good. And we got pastries. My dad bought a pie. We got cookies. We were supposed to make mini hot dogs and then we forgot to make them because we had so much.
Now you have them. Yeah. Now you have them.
Yeah. So I literally was laying down and then also I was drinking a Corona seltzer. And I'm sipping it and I'm my body hurts from eating so much.
I was drinking, I had a couple Blue Moons, I was trying and I was I can't even get drunk right now because I am so full. And then it's all in front of you. I just kept eating. I was at my point of exploding and I kept freaking going.
I know it was, afterwards the next day, I gotta say, I was just oof. I went to bed with a stomach ache because I was just
100%.
It was 1 a.m. and I didn't realize it was 1 a.m. My dad and I were watching NFL Network, with all of the, interviews and stuff like
Celebrations.
that. I was like, oh my God, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. Dang.
That is past your bedtime.
I know. I'm an old lady. I gotta go to bed early or I struggle to wake up in the morning. But yeah, it was food coma for real.
Shouldn't Monday after the Super Bowl be a national holiday?
Absolutely.
How do we make that happen? Why isn't that a thing?
The best thing is that my brother took off from work yesterday.
That's amazing.
And made his own Super Bowl Monday.
Amazing.
He rolled up out of bed at like 11. He came downstairs. He was like, "What's up, everybody? I didn't go to work today." And I was like, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah, I fully support that.
It absolutely should be. One day we'll have a politician that will make a national order that's like
when Tom Brady runs for president.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
No. Please, God, no. He would win too.
He would 100%.
Yeah, we can't even go near that right now.
He's like, you're all gonna do TB12.
I don't have the mental capacity to deal with that.
All right, moving on as quick as we possibly can.
Right. All right, so actually, a fun thing that happened in the Super Bowl, probably the best play in the entire Super Bowl was a man in a pink thong ran across the field, scored a touchdown.
He did.
We had ourselves
something the Chiefs couldn't do.
True that. So yeah, we had a streaker, and I saw. Actually, I think I took a screenshot of it. That guy put on
himself.
Bet. Yeah, he put the prop bet up. I think I have like the exact numbers. He bet $50,000 on a prop bet at plus 750. That there would be a streaker at the Super Bowl. His buddy went out first as a diversion so that he wouldn't get caught as fast. And it cost him $1,000 to get out of jail. He cleared $374,000 on the bet.
That is one brilliant delinquent right there.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Honestly, too, when I saw it, I knew CBS wasn't going to follow him because like that's like their thing. They're like, oh, well, we can't show him because that's what he wants. I think he had some sort of ad or something on his pink thumb.
Yeah, and his like booty was out. Like he pulled his shorts down and like he literally had like full on G-string.
Yeah.
Shout out to Barstool for providing the actual footage.
Yes,
I understand why they can't, and they also don't want to promote that for like future people. Like they don't want to encourage it. So I totally understand. But I was like, come on, like show the people what we want to see.
Yeah. Because like the second they like cut to like Patrick and then they cut to Tom, I was like, oh come on.
One thing I understand, like how did they not like slightly giggle? I guess it's like the biggest moment of their career and very serious times and all that. But like, I would have giggled. Like, I think I would have let out a chuckle or something.
I definitely would have been like,
look at that guy.
I know they cut to Tom Brady.
Pissed.
Tom Brady was just standing on the sidelines like, how dare this man?
I know. This is the biggest moment of my entire career.
Yeah, he literally was just like, oh. I mean, to be fair, Tom Brady has probably seen his fair share of streakers throughout his long years. Rather. So, but I thought that was kind of fun. I was like,
rather.
he, the guy did what he had to do. He made his money. $374.
He can pay for his kids to go to college wherever they want to go, just because he was a streaker in the Super Bowl.
Hey, Mom, what did Grandpa do in his late 20s, early 30s? Oh, honey, he bet a lot of money to be a streaker at the Super Bowl, and then he put on a pink thong and ran through the field and won $374,000. And that's why I am here today with my doctorate. Amazing.
That is how I became the woman I am.
I love it so much. But yeah, so that was an exciting, eventful part of the Super Bowl because I think that kind of livened it up a little at that point. I think
we needed it.
We're starting to snooze by that point. It was like, nah.
Yeah. Even I was like waiting for like, I wanted to see Patrick Mahomes do something remarkable, and it sucked. I can't even say that because he was like the passes he got off. I literally was like, oh, like he did that, but then they were nothing. And I
think the most remarkable thing, like what we said earlier, was the jump. He was like sideways. He threw it and he hit.
It looked like dodgeball.
Yeah, he hit his receiver in the face too.
Yes,
and I was like, that guy could have caught it, and that would have been a touchdown, and that would have been, the Tom Brady moment. Crap, I keep doing that. The Patrick Mahomes moment we were waiting for. And that, his receivers they don't know how to do anything, apparently. So that, we didn't have the amazing Patrick Super Bowl that we wanted. And he didn't even get a touchdown.
I know.
It's like,
I know.
It's really upsetting. I'm upset. I've just reverted back to being upset, even though
I know. I'm going to look at the bright side though. I think maybe he needed something like this to kind of
to be humbled.
Yes. Like look at it this way. It's not like he got beat by a backup quarterback. Sorry, I needed one Tom Brady dig. He got beat by the greatest of all time.
Yep.
On a team that's completely stacked, offense and defense. Like, if you were going to be beat by someone, I would want it to be by the Buccaneers right now.
Yeah.
Like that is fair. And so I think, and there's a lot of other, not to like make excuses for him, but I think he can say, I'm not at my best. They had a lot of injuries to their O-line, which makes a lot of sense, which is why they weren't there. So I think there's a lot of things that can go in to be like, all right, we didn't play our best game. Here's what we can do moving forward to fix that. And I think it honestly might be good for him long term. Because imagine if he just like won and won and won. That's not a way to like figure yourself out. Like, you need some weaknesses. You need to be knocked down a couple times so then you can fix it and learn from it.
Absolutely.
There you go, Patrick Mahomes. I'll be your motivational speaker.
Patrick, I know you're listening, pal. I know you love us. So
we are your favorites. So
and finally, I think a great thing about the Super Bowl this year were the women that were involved. We had Sarah Thomas, the first woman referee in Super Bowl in NFL history. And then we had two women on the Buccaneer sidelines, because Bruce Arians, I believe, has one of the most diverse coaching staffs of like the entire NFL.
Yeah.
So Meryl Jarediffin, I hope I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly, and then Lori Locust. So one of them is a strength and conditioning coach. The other is the assistant defensive line coach. So super stoked, because last year we had Katie Sowers on the San Francisco side of things. So I was like really stoked to have some women involved here.
I loved it.
Just show up. And I liked also that Sarah Thomas, she for a long time stuck her hair in her hat. And so she didn't get
She let her ponytail fly.
She let her pony out.
And it's such a gorgeous ponytail.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I was so stoked to have some women in there. And people, I had to shut some people down on Twitter the other day because I was fed up. People were saying apparently Sarah Thomas has a son who she named Tom after Tom Brady. And everybody was like, oh, she was the one that basically rigged the Super Bowl because she loves Tom Brady and this and that. And I'm like, do you know how many male referees are probably like, oh, Tom Brady?
Yeah.
I was like, shut up. Get out of here. I had to shut some people down. I was like, not today.
I'm from Jersey.
Not our Sarah Thomas. So so really, really stoked.
Let our Queen Bee live, okay?
Yeah, like relax, okay? Take it easy. But overall, I mean, I think we talked lengthily about what went wrong in the Super Bowl, what went right. I don't think that there was really anything else before we move on, unless you had something else you wanted to share.
No.
Yeah,
I think we covered all the bases.
We sure did. All right, so then let's talk about something that I think that we might be the only two people in the world that were like freaking out on Saturday night about this.
Oh yeah.
So as many people know, the NFL Honors happens on Saturdays, the night before the Super Bowl, where we announce all of these different people, MVPs, Players of the Year, all that good stuff. First of all, let's just give a shout out to our mans, Justin Herbert, out here, Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's our boy. I
was so happy.
And oh my God, he looked so good.
So
he grew into his haircut. I gotta say,
I know.
He grew into it. It looks real good now.
I love everything he does.
We're big Justin Herbert fans.
Yes.
Jordan has the sweater.
Yep. It was the first present I opened on Christmas, and my mom handed it to me and she was like, here you go. Your Christmas is going to be over after this. She was like, you're not going to need anything else. It's a full-on crew neck that says, all I want for Christmas is Justin Herbert.
Yep. Yep.
My Christmas was over. I did not need anything after that.
I love it. But yeah, so that's our boy. We absolutely adore him and can't wait to see what Justin does in the future. But the thing that I ended up texting Jordan about, and I was like, excuse me, what's happening? Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP award, which I think we all figured was coming.
Yeah.
Our boy Josh Allen came in second, though. Another one of our boys. We have a lot of boys.
We have a lot.
You know, Aaron Rodgers, they're doing the virtual speeches. This man comes out here
casually,
just casually mentions, I got engaged, my fiance. And I was like, hold on a quick second. It had been 3 days since it was officially announced that him and Shailene Woodley were dating. And I was like, this man is engaged. He broke up with Danica Patrick 6 months ago. I'm perplexed.
Interesting fun fact, Danica introduced them.
Yes.
So my heart, I literally posted on my Snapchat story. I was at Applebee's drinking a margarita, and I'm sitting there a little buzzed because we know Applebee's margaritas, they do that to you.
Oh yeah.
I mean any margarita, but Applebee's are so good.
Applebee's specifically.
Yes. So I'm sitting there sipping. I posted on my Snapchat story, and I'm like, just sitting here waiting for Aaron Rodgers to be named MVP, as one does, you know?
Right.
And then that happens. And I'm in this, like, I was on a high, like, yes, he did it, third MVP. Woo! And then all of a sudden he drops that, and my heart kind of shattered. And I like Shailene Woodley. I like her. I like him a lot. I like them together. But just knowing now that he's like permanently taken, it hurts.
I know.
Not that I ever stood a chance, but I would have liked to at least have him remain single so I know that there's always that option.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But happy for him.
Happy for him. No, the funny thing was too, is like the other day I was like, when they announced that it was like official, I was like, you know, Aaron Rodgers is just going to go through girlfriends for the rest of his life. Like he's never going to tie himself down. And then this man just comes out, didn't notify anybody. I was
nobody like really was posting about it after he said it. I'm like scrolling through Twitter. No, everyone's just like, congrats, Aaron Rodgers MVP. And I'm like, did anyone just miss that? Like he literally said he's engaged.
That's literally, I'm so glad I was watching it with my dad, because if I was watching it by myself, I would have thought I hallucinated it.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking about it. I was like, wait a second. Did you guys not hear the fact that he just said he's engaged? Hello? And literally I looked at my dad, and my dad is just like sitting there, like looking at me. I'm standing up. I'm like, what? Oh my God. He just said it. He said it again. Oh my God. Oh my God. And like, my dad's just like, I heard it. And I'm like, he didn't tell anybody.
Huge deal.
I was just so mad that like, it wasn't even like, nobody even knew, just, there was no rumor. There was nothing.
No.
I was like,
I haven't even seen a picture of them together.
No, neither have I.
Heard that like they escaped. Weren't they on like an island or like a resort or something? Like I just heard they just like disappeared. And I was like, oh, that's romantic. They were probably getting married for all we know. Like they might have a child on the way. I'm kidding, but
he could already be married at this point. We would have no idea.
They could. There were rumors of them all throughout the season that they were dating, and then it just would fade off, and then I would hear it again, and I'd be like, all right, I need proof of this.
Yes.
I was also in denial, and I was like, there's no way, because like he's waiting for me.
Jordan, when Jordan and I used to work together, she would slide into Aaron Rodgers' DMs all the time, and it was hilarious.
I would just be like, hey, how's your day going?
How's your day?
And she'd be like, great, how's yours? I was waiting.
Her. But maybe one day, maybe he'll let everyone down easily one day and just be like, I'm gonna answer all my...
I'm not kidding, is old enough to be my father. But he is, and like, I think part of the reason he is my favorite athlete ever. Like everyone has like that person that made them love football. And he is mine. So I think there's also like a sentimental thing attached to that.
Absolutely.
So he's the whole package for me.
He's a lovely man. He's also really weird, which I also love about him.
Yes. And he reads books and writes in the margins. And I'm like, oh my God, we can be so nerdy together. Like, we can be so nerdy. We can show each other our little margin notes.
Oh my God, that's actually so cute. That's so cute.
Drinking, what's he drink? Scotch on the rocks or whiskey on the rock? He is an old.
He's rugged. He like does yoga. He's a good guy. We love Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like he would let me have a goat. Like, I feel like he would let me have a baby goat.
Yeah.
If I wanted a baby goat, he would let me have a baby goat.
Yeah, he's an interesting person, but I love him too. We adore Aaron Rodgers, and I am happy that he's with Shailene. Good for him, you know.
I think, and honestly, at this point, this seems, because he always seemed like the kind of person that was never really going to settle down. He didn't seem like the family man. And for him to like publicly announce like that in that setting that he's engaged and like happy to call her his fiance, I think this really might be love, like true love for him. So congrats.
Do you want to know what's funny though? Is that it has never been formally announced that Shailene Woodley is his fiance.
I know.
We're just kind of assuming.
So what if he's just like stirring the pot here? Like, what if he's like...
Would not be surprised. That man is so petty.
He is so calculated like that. Like, the way after they lost the NFC Championship game, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be here. And it's like, you know you're not leaving Green Bay. Like,
why would you say that?
Because he was pissed. And he likes to slowly stir the pot. He's in the back of a pickup truck drinking Bud Lights. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to shake things up today.
Yes. Love it. I love it. He's the best. He really is.
I'm all of him.
It's really great that he is the way that he is, because I wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers any other way.
No. I do miss the mustache though.
I don't. I really don't.
I think I'm the only one. He
just looked a little bit too pedophile-ish to me. I was like, Aaron, I like the beard. I'm big on the beards. I love beards. I loved
his long hair this season too.
Except when he would take his helmet off and he had the middle part.
He gave me Jesus vibes.
Yes. He's again, we love the man. We love the man so much. But that wasn't the only thing that happened in the NFL honors that was a little spicy. It had to do with the defensive player of the year. So Aaron Donald won defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. TJ Watt was also up for that because he led in every single category and he didn't win. Twitter
blew up.
Was like, oh my God. TJ himself tweeted out the Michael Jordan meme of it, and I took it personally, which means that TJ Watt
is scary next season.
Oh my God, he's gonna be petrifying. He's gonna come out and just like tackle everyone. It's gonna be insane. So, and then I believe JJ said some things as well. Obviously, his brother. I have so many screenshots on my phone. Oh my God.
I was like, it's. When I saw Aaron Donald got it, I wasn't like shocked, but at the same time, I was kind of like, why? Because like Aaron Donald is a beast. I feel like at this point, he got it just for being him. But TJ, I think, deserved it after everything this season. On paper, like he like you said, led every category. Like you can't just snub him just because Aaron Donald's Aaron Donald.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate. I know JJ tweeted out like the actual like screenshot of the statistics, and he was just like, you know, TJ led in every category. Juju Smith-Schuster popped in and said facts and numbers, you know, replying to JJ, and I was like, oh my God, everyone's coming to TJ's aid. My brother, who was a Steelers fan, was pissed.
I bet.
He came down and he was like, I'm not watching this garbage show anymore. This is stupid. And I was like, I mean, fair. But I'm very surprised. And it got very spicy on the Twitter sphere because I love watching things and being on Twitter at the same time, like being on the Super Bowl, these honors, because it is, people get so into it and it's hilarious. And I love it so much.
And the best is when other athletes get involved, because I'm like, oh, they're feeling the same that we are, and it just like adds that extra layer of like excitement.
Another, just not from the NFL honors, but from Sunday. So during the Super Bowl, it was at 7:07 p.m. on February 7th, Devontae Adams tweeted, "Who else golfing right now?" Straight up, the Super Bowl had been on for 30 minutes at that point, and Devontae Adams went golfing, and then Aaron Rodgers liked the tweet.
They're pissed.
So spicy!
They're pissed.
They're so pissed because they should have been there.
They should have. I wanted it for them. I was, me and you were devastated,
livid
after that game.
I know.
It's fine.
It was the fact that they kicked a field goal and it didn't help anything.
No. There was a lot. There was another, it was like they didn't go for it on a 4th down when they were basically in their own end zone. And yes. I was like, really? Like, it was just go, it's the NFC Championship game. Like, at this point, even if you don't get it, they're right there anyway. Like, who cares? Like, there was nothing really to lose. So, whatever.
Yeah. It's in the past now. Nothing we can do about it. But yeah, so the NFL honors was a little spicy. Very, very exciting. And Russell Wilson won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Yeah.
Mr. Sierra, if you will. So,
Sierra's Did you see the video of her that Russell took strutting in heels? Yes. Blue bottom heels with those legs. Like,
love it.
You are such a lucky man.
Yes. Mr. Sierra is a very lucky man, and they have adorable children.
Is here. This beat is automatic. Sorry. I love that.
1-2 step, baby. 1-2 step.
1-2 step.
So that's what went on at the NFL honors for the most part. That was interesting. Otherwise, it was like, well, we got some really good Hall of Fame picks. Peyton's going in the Hall. Calvin Johnson's going in the Hall. Yeah. Charles Woodson. Got some good stuff. John Lynch, who is the GM for the 49ers right now. Like, he's going to be in the Hall. Very good class, I think.
Yeah.
So before we wrap everything up here, we've been chatting for a while. I want to talk about your Eagles real quick.
Okay.
Because Jordan, mentally prepare yourself. So
avoid this conversation at all costs.
I know, but we have to discuss, especially with you here. You are my Eagles confidant, basically. Like, all this stuff, and I need to get your opinion on it because it is a pretty big deal. So the whole thing is, it's like Howie Roseman's like, we're sticking with Carson here. We're letting Doug go. We all know that whole thing. You FaceTimed me screaming. I just no words, just screaming. And I was like, we know where Jordan's at. And then now they're saying that this trade that he originally was thinking about is still in the works.
Yeah.
And there was thoughts about him going to Chicago and maybe getting Nick Foles back. So I want to get your opinion on, do you think this trade should go through? Do you think that you should stick with Carson, Jalen? Like, where do you want your team to be at right now?
I want Carson Wentz.
Okay.
And we are, from the looks of it, very close to a deal. I think the chances of us keeping Carson Wentz are at like a 1 or 2% right now. Everything I've seen is that he's gone, basically.
Oh, man.
I've literally been like avoiding Twitter because it hurts. No pun intended. So bad. But I think we're absolutely idiotic for getting rid of him. I think he's the best quarterback our franchise has had in my entire lifetime, probably out of our franchise's entire lifetime. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like a lot of the younger players like fit well with him. Like, no one seems to really rally up. And a lot of the guys that were there that were new in our Super Bowl still were on like the Nick Foles train. So I don't think Carson Wentz is connecting with his teammates as much as he connects with Philly.
Gotcha.
I do think he loves the city of Philadelphia. I think there's a lot of issues that we don't get to see that caused a lot of our issues that we did see on the field. So I understand that it might have to happen just to give us a chance at like a clean slate, a fresh start, because even if we keep him and all these issues are there, the chances of him being able to play and to execute as highly as he should be able to aren't there. So I get it. It freaking pains me because I love him. I love the respect that he has for our city. We wouldn't have been able to get to that Super Bowl without him. Right. We wouldn't have. He set everything up. And I fully believe if he never got injured, that season, he would have been MVP. I think we would have made it there if he never went down. I'm so grateful for Nick Foles. Like, you know how much I love Nick Foles. Not taking anything away from him. But we also can't ignore everything that Carson did to get us there. So it's really, really hard for me. I'm honestly scared for the Eagles next season. I feel like there's a lot of rumors we're not keeping Hurts because of cap space and we have Goddard now. Like, there are so many things. I feel like I'm not going to be able to look. Like, I feel like I'm going to look at my team and I'm not even going to recognize my own team. I feel like it's going to take some time. So I'm very, very nervous. Everything that I've seen has led to Carson Wentz either going to the Bears or the Colts. There is some talk about Vegas. I've seen a lot of Carson Wentz going to Vegas, which kind of has me in a tizzy. I can't even go there. But I'm in a state of agony right now. And I just wish if they were going to do it, they rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Because all these like hints, we're so close. Like, it's killing me slowly and painfully. So we'll see. And there's also how he came out and said, like, my biggest downfall is having this attachment to veteran players. And then what's he going to do? Trade Carson Wentz to get Nick Foles back, which I never wanted to get rid of Nick Foles in the first place. So, like, we could have saved ourselves so much freaking drama if we just kept him to begin with. But it's a hot mess express in Philadelphia right now. Yes. And from the way it's looking, I might be a Chargers fan next season.
You know what? Sure. Let's do it.
If Carson Wentz, or here's another thing. If Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz both leave and end up on the same team, if they are a package deal, I will root for whatever team they go to. That's
fair. That's very, very fair.
Yeah. And I don't have anything against Jalen Hurts. He was like going into last year's draft, he was one of the quarterbacks that like I had my eye on. Like, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks coming out of that draft, which is so hard for me. I never wanted him on my team. I think he's an outstanding quarterback. I think he could do great things for us. It's just not like, I don't know. I have so much faith in Carson, and I think Carson is so talented that it hurts. It's painful. Yeah. So yeah, that's where my head is. I really think Carson's out.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of the rumors are that he is not going to be in Philadelphia next year. So I was just blown away at the fact that they were like, yeah, he'll go to the Bears and they'll get Nick Foles back. And I was like, dang, what? Yeah. Like, that's wild to think about. So this is just the start of this bonkers offseason that we're about to have.
Yeah. And then also we have Deshaun Watson drama. Yes. Like, this offseason, the Matt Stafford, Jared Goff trade was like, boom. And that was before the Super Bowl even happened. And I think we are in for a tizzy of an offseason. Like, I think that was just the tipping point.
It was. And that Matt Stafford, Jared Goff trade had everybody shook. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Yeah. It was just wild to think about. And now we're probably going to have close to 20 teams with new quarterbacks next year.
Yeah.
Which is also bonkers to think about, because that's going to have a completely new league in our midst. Like,
it's going to be crazy.
2020 was crazy, and I have a feeling that 2021 is going to be even crazier, because at this point, nothing's like, the train has no brakes. No. We are going full speed with no brakes.
Yeah. Like, and there's no like brick wall to stop us anytime soon. Like, it's just, we're flying, and we'll see wherever we land, because I don't know.
We'll hit that brick wall when preseason rolls around.
And if then we have a preseason.
I mean, I'm hoping.
I hope so, because I think that played a huge, all the injuries this season, I think that came from not having a preseason.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's the only thing, because the amount of intense, like, severe injuries that we had to major play, like, there's something to that, because that I've never seen.
Yeah, it's just, gonna be weird again. I have a feeling. I think that let's just give a shout out to the people working within the NFL, the COVID people, the first responders, all of them that were able
for making this possible.
Literally, we had no idea whether or not we were gonna even have a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we had just a regular Super Bowl as we normally would. Nothing was changed. Nothing was moved. It all came full circle at the end. So definitely shout out to everybody that had anything to do with that, because without them, we would be sitting here. It would be my 100th episode and we'd be talking about, crackers and cheese or something.
Yeah. Or buffalo chicken dip recipes.
Or buffalo chicken dip. Yeah. So you're going to put the Frank's Red Hot sauce in. And then
we literally use the same ingredients.
Oh, yeah. Well, Frank's Red Hot is the best one to use.
It's the only one you should be using.
It's got a flavor. It's got enough heat to make it buffalo, but not too hot that some people might not like it.
Yeah.
It's got a very good balance. I'm a big fan. But anyway, this has been an insane episode. I am so happy that, first of all, Jordan, that you and I are friends at this point in time. I'm so happy that we met because of football. I'm so happy that you were able to come on my podcast, my 100th episode. I had no idea I would ever even end up here at this point in time. I almost dropped my microphone.
Your mic is just as excited.
I'm talking too much with my hands. So Jordan, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm your number one fan.
You really are, and you're like my best sports friend ever. I can come to you with anything, even not sports related. It's fantastic, and I love it.
I'm telling you, our brains are fused. We are one.
Yes, we really are. We really are. So why don't you let everyone know again where they can find you on social media and your YouTube channel and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so my YouTube, which I post weekly, is SportyJordy. My Instagram that I am now starting to update every single day is at the SportyJordy. And then my Twitter, which I'm also using now. I'm new at this. Sam, we're on her 100th episode. I'm like a newborn baby into this world. And my Twitter is at the SportyJordy. So make sure to give them all a follow and help me get started.
Yes, everyone, give Jordan a follow, give Jordan a subscribe. She puts out some really fun stuff. And I really appreciate you for coming on. So on our end of things, don't forget to subscribe to all of our podcasting platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can get your podcasts from. The Girl Who Talks Sports is there. Also our YouTube channel, which is The Girl Who Talks Sports. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on the little notification. You get notified when we upload new videos, because sometimes we'll just throw new videos out there and not tell anybody because I have no schedule. And also our social media is TGWTS Podcast on both Twitter and on Instagram. Jordan, once again, thank you so much for coming on. I love you. I love you so much. I can't wait to talk about the off season with you.
It's going to be a wild one.
It's going to be a wild one. All right, everyone. I hope you all have a fun, fantastic sports-filled day, and I will see you guys all next week for episode 101. Bye.